Drum roll, please. This is the moment you've all been waiting for, where you will find out if Flat Earth David Weiss, is going to go to Antarctica, if he's willing to go to Antarctica. Keep in mind, this is the same DITRH, Dave Weiss, who has stated that he wants to go to Antarctica. He even said he would be willing to go on a plane to Antarctica in order to settle the debate over whether we live on a globe or a flat Earth. He said he'd be willing to go on a plane to Antarctica to settle the debate, and he said it could be settled in one day. Now, that was a different experiment he was talking about, but you would think with a different experiment, ours, the final experiment, that you'd think he'd want to go and accomplish the same thing. But before I tell you what he said, I need to cover a little bit of history. So the first thing we did is we created this poll here on YouTube to see who people wanted to represent the flat Earth side in Antarctica for the final experiment. Now, there's been a little confusion. My original plan was to run that poll for 48 hours. And when the 48 hours ended, there was no way to end the poll on YouTube without actually deleting it. And then nobody could see the results. And I'm sure I'd get accused of all kinds of crazy things. So I left the poll up. But at that 48-hour mark, I emailed Dave Weiss, let him know he won. He won with a pretty significant margin, as you can see, and asked him if he was willing to go to Antarctica. The next thing I did, out of curiosity, because this is an experiment and I like to see where people are at, is we created this poll on YouTube and this one on X, asking people if they thought Dave Weiss would accept a free trip to Antarctica. And as you can see, the results were very similar to each other, but also surprising. So we got almost 1,000 votes combined between YouTube and X, and a major 91% of people on YouTube and 92% of people on X believed that Dave Weiss would not accept a free trip to Antarctica. So not to hold out any longer, Dave Weiss and I have been in communication, and he has said no. He's unwilling to go to Antarctica. So whatever you guys all knew, all of you who voted and said no, you were right. Now, there's probably going to be speculation as to why he said no, and I want to kind of stay away from all of that. So I'm just going to tell you and show you here on the screen his exact words to me as to why he's unwilling to go to Antarctica. Here's what he said. Here's his original email. And he said this: as I said before, I want nothing to do with you whatsoever. He's talking to me. I don't trust you at all. The people you hang with are demons and liars, in my opinion. There's his answer. I have never met a demon, so not sure what he's talking about there. I've also never met someone who's never lied. But anyway, it's okay. This is part of the reason we invited 24 flat earthers and 24 globe earthers to participate in the final experiment, is because we assumed we'd get some no's. I was a little hopeful that I was going to get 24 yeses from each side, and we'd have to figure out how to make that work. But a no is okay. We are now going to move on. A lot of people are asking me this. We're now going to move on to the next person in line, who is Jaron Campanella. He runs the popular YouTube channel Jaronism, which I highly recommend you check out. He has incredible debates that he does on there, all kinds of good content to take in and consider. Now, some of you are going to wonder why Jaron is next on the list and not Austin Whitsitt, based on the polling results that happened at the end of 48 hours. And what I'll tell you is this: there is conversation going on behind the scenes between me and the Flat Earth participants and me and the Globe Earth participants. We're talking very private conversations over Zoom, over text, over email, one-on-one. And so there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that you guys just aren't aware of. And so Jaron and I are in communication. He has stated that he wants something from me in order to consider going to Antarctica. So I want to make sure we're clear. He wants something from me before he'll consider going to Antarctica. And so I'm going to give him that. And I will let everybody know what he and I have been discussing here over the next few days. and we will go from there. But Dave Weiss did finish #1 in the poll, and he has declined a free trip to Antarctica. So that's where things stand on the flat Earth side. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the globe side. We're going to talk about who won that poll. I'll give you a hint. He has the same name. His name is also Dave. And I'm going to let everybody know tomorrow if that Dave has accepted a free trip to Antarctica on the globe side. Stay tuned. Talk soon. Bye-bye.